Hey everybody, this is Matt from alphamatfitness.com, and I got another video coming at you about a new strategy, a new dietary strategy that I'm planning on picking up and trying, actually starting tomorrow. As many of you may or may not know, this is my first week back from my recovery week. And I've just been looking around and thinking that, this is phase 2 of my transformation, right? I already spoke about this. Phase 1 was the first fat loss phase, like losing the bulk of the fat. And phase 2 is actually going from a relatively lean state to actually getting ripped. So that means dropping the additional 20-25 pounds of fat to low levels of body fat. So we're talking like essentially as low as I can go within reason, between 7 to 10%, I'm gonna guess, to have complete abdominal definition and all that. Okay, so that's neither here nor there, and it's not really what I want to talk about in this video. In this video, I want to talk about. Sorry, this is driving. There's fucking people everywhere. It's annoying. Jesus fuck. Okay, anyways, this video is going to be about intermittent fasting and what's the purpose. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of intermittent fasting? And basically, some of the research that I've done in the last couple days and over the time that I've been doing research on nutrition and whatnot. So intermittent fasting is simply a way of, it's basically a dietary strategy. It's a way of eating, right? So the whole concept of intermittent fasting comes down to, many different things. The first benefit of intermittent fasting is better regulation of insulin and blood sugar levels. In addition to that, it could help some people with calorie control, not overeating. And I think another benefit is it kind of just gives you more flexibility and less hassle with like your timing, meal timing, right? So sometimes there's a lot of planning and a lot of effort involved with planning meals out throughout the day and eating regularly every few hours. The typical eat 6 meals a day or whatever strategy that pretty much every diet book since the early 2000s has put out to keep your metabolism fired up, going, has advocated for frequent meal timing, so multiple meals, smaller, each having a small amount of protein spread throughout the day to help help fight hunger and keep a constant supply of protein and all this bullshit nonsense. But anyways, when it comes down to intermittent fasting, it's basically consuming the majority of your calories within a small window of time and then essentially eating nothing for the rest of the day. And the whole reason, the whole strategy, the whole scientific reason, backbone behind intermittent fasting is based off blood sugar. You see, when you eat a meal, your blood sugar spikes. So as your body breaks down carbohydrates and sugars and whatnot and breaks it down, it converts it into glucose through your digestion processes. The glucose in your blood causes a response in insulin, right? You want insulin sensitivity, which means you want your body to be able to react to the influx of glucose and to respond properly with the proper amount of insulin. Insulin is responsible for transporting that glucose into your cells, into your fat cells and all that sort of thing, right? So a lot of diabetics, when they're no longer sensitive, they're no longer insulin sensitive, they don't produce enough insulin. Therefore, they need insulin shots in order to properly shuttle the glucose out of the blood, right? Otherwise, it can be toxic and deadly and all that stuff, right? That's a different story. So, by properly regulating these insulin levels, you actually cause your body to the theory is to metabolize fat more often. So when you're not eating, you can't cause any sort of insulin spikes. There's nothing going on, right? Your body only reacts with insulin when there's an influx of food, right? So if there's no food coming in, there can't be an insulin spike or any problems like that. So what happens is your body needs the energy, right? So in order to get the energy, it has to get the energy from somewhere. Your body's primary source of storing energy is fat cells. So fat is released obviously through fat cells, which are stored as triglycerides, which is basically three fatty acid molecules essentially attached to a glycerin uh, molecule. So triglycerides stored inside the cell, broken down the fatty acids through the blood. So when your body doesn't have the energy, it gets it from there. The other form of energy is glycogen. So when you consume carbohydrates, it's broken down and stored as glycogen. Glycogen is basically stored energy from carbohydrates, and that is stored in your muscle cells, also in the liver. And from my research, I've gathered that the liver stores roughly 24 to 36 hours worth of energy in the form of glycogen from the liver. So your body will slowly release the glycogen from your liver. Once that's exhausted out, it starts burning energy, stored fats, or kind of does it all at the same time roughly, right? So by doing intermittent fasting, your body's insulin levels are better regulated, and there's no spikes in insulin. So therefore, during those times of low blood sugar, your body's going to actually take more of the fat from your fat cells, right? So the theory is that it's going to help with fat oxidation, which will reduce body fat quicker, more efficiently. And for me, I think it'll help a little bit having one giant satisfying meal or two giant satisfying meals after the gym per day, and then literally just going the whole day with nothing except proper hydration, water, maybe my BCAAs at the gym, and that's about it. So that's my plan. I'm hoping it'll work. I've never tried intermittent fasting before. It's gotten a lot of good feedback from a lot of people that haven't tried it. I don't know if it's going to yield any more fat loss than what I'm doing now, because the net calorie intake will still be the same. I'm not gonna cut the calories back anymore. I'm not gonna go up. I'm basically gonna take everything that I eat throughout the day, which is currently right now 1,800 calories, about 180 grams of protein, 60 grams of fat, and the rest carbs. And I'm just gonna basically at 7 or 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, I'm just gonna eat everything within a course of an hour and a half or something, like while I'm watching TV and stuff. Just eat everything. So I'll be eating my oatmeal, my eggs, protein powder, like which is normally have in the morning. I'll just put it all together, not mix it together, but I'll just eat it all at the same time. I'll eat my lunch, my chili, I'll eat my supper, snack, whatever. Everything that I'm eating now, from like the moment I wake up till the moment I go to bed, I'm just gonna eat all at once. Basically, I'm not gonna like spread it throughout the day anymore. Just eat it all within probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like one big fucking, not a binge fest, because it's all healthy food and calculated. But just gonna basically take it in all at the same time. So that's that. Never really tried it. I'm hoping with phase 2, it's gonna help me reach those low lean levels, which I've been sodding after for the longest time now. And I still have about 20 pounds to lose, but if I can lose the last 20 to 25 pounds this way, it should be good. Oh, one more thing. The other benefit of intermittent fasting is it's supposed to help growth hormone a bit. I'm not sure, but I think it's something to do with low insulin levels in your blood, because there's a better growth hormone response. So like, essentially you can build more muscle. I'm not sure how much or how measurable that is, or if it's true or not. Better growth hormone levels in your body, so which will help muscle gain as well as some of the fat oxidation, which is like using the fat, right? So between those two things, I think it's a decent strategy. A lot of guys do it, and a lot of the guys have gotten extremely lean doing it. And I've even read and heard of accounts of guys who can't get lean until they started implementing intermittent fasting. Now, for them, I'm not sure. Maybe they weren't measuring their calories right, they weren't tracking their macros correct, and then the intermittent fasting just somehow allowed them to create that daily calorie deficit that they couldn't before, right? Like, I'm pretty accurate. I track everything down to like the gram and fucking ounce. So I'm hoping that there's more merit to this than simply, by chance, it's a couple guys here and there cause their calories go down a little lower because they eat all at once, right? So they eat less overall. I'll be eating the same, but all within this window. So I'm going to try to capitalize on the other benefits, right, of being in a fasted state, lowering insulin levels in the blood and blood sugar levels, and the hormone thing too, right? So we'll see. I mean, and then one more benefit I would think. Sorry, this is the last one. I keep jumping off topic. Well, not off topic, but I keep forgetting shit. But I think having that big meal will be satisfying to me, because getting all that food at once. It's kind of like going to a buffet, almost like, oh, I'm eating everything at once. Getting all those calories in at one time might be a little more satisfying, and then something I can look forward to, and maybe it'll help me sleep a little better at night. So who knows? I mean, I'll know. I'll know after a few weeks because I track everything diligently. So I'm gonna start that tomorrow. Wish me luck. If this video helped you and you think you might want to try intermittent fasting, or if you got some advice or some tips or your results or experiences on trying intermittent fasting, post them below in the comments. I'm trying to get back to you on any of those, and like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate you like and subscribe. As of this time, I have 4 subscribers. I think 3 of the people I know and the other person's me. So I need to really get some people subscribing to this channel. Well, I don't need to, but it'd be nice. It'd be really nice, Otherwise, I feel like I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, we all talk to ourselves once in a while, right? Anyways, like and subscribe below. Visit me at alphamatfitness.com. And this is Matt signing off. Thanks.